Hello and welcome to today's video. So on the workbench today we have a Solectria AC230, serial number 519. It's also here but it's upside down. This one is programmed for 216 volts, although I believe somebody's gone in and upped it a little bit. So I'll show you that in a second. This is an AC230, so this is like one generation behind. You can see that it has all of the D sub connectors just exposed on the side there instead of through a waterproof glands or grommet like they do on the AMC 230s and 235s. The difference between, like, my truck has two AMC 230s in it, and that means that they are 200 volt 300 amp drives. This is exactly the opposite. It is a 200 amp 300 volt drive. That's why we can get away with the higher voltage 216. Mine wouldn't handle 216, it would be kicking out. But we got everything hooked up here. This is as high as I can go. I've got Variac all the way to the max, bridge rectifying it on the capacitor here, and added a bleed resistor because you don't want to accidentally put it away and shock somebody. And we're currently putting out about 200 volts. And that's why I think somebody's changed the voltage on here. So if I go ahead and flip it on, so this guy's in for test repair if needed, and looks like it works fine. So I'll put it in gear and give it a little bit of throttle. Nice and smooth. You can see our low voltage LED does come on, and it looks like it's at around 196 volts. Don't want to spin it up that high. Because we are running at such a low voltage, we have lots of overhead on the capacitor, so we could actually go up to 300 volts. So we're 100 volts lower, so we can actually turn regen on and come to a stop much faster. So instead of having to wait for them to spin down. So I flipped it over to the reverse. We'll do the same thing. We'll spin it up. It's nice and smooth. It looks like it's all working. Again, we are pegged on the low voltage limit, and if I regen it here, yeah, we can regen to a stop pretty quick because we have the overhead. I don't know if I can get on there, but this jumps up pretty high. The voltage starts spiking up because we're dumping all the energy that we stored in the rotor as inertia back into the capacitor. But yeah, that looks like turn regen off here, so it's nice and smooth. Oh, let me actually put it in gear. There you go. So reverse. We let it spin down. That looks like it's fine. Like I said, we can regen to a stop really fast. Put it forward. Give it a little throttle. Spins nice and smooth. So I think this drives perfectly fine. If you're having trouble with it, it's probably on the vehicle side or the voltage. It does seem like this one has been programmed, it has a higher voltage cutoff. It looks like 196 volts is where it's cutting off. And yeah, other than that, it looks like it's working perfectly fine. Yeah, it looks good. If you hear the 3D printer going in the background, I am actually 3D printing a capacitor holder for my that capacitor, because it actually can get a little sketchy when it falls over. So I've put a little piece of plywood, bolt the capacitor. I was just going to buy one of the metal ones, but it was like, wait, I can just 3D print one and not have to wait for shipping. 3D printers are amazing. But yeah, it should hopefully fit that, and then I can bolt it to a piece of plywood. And I'd like to get a little of analog voltmeter, probably something from 0 to 250 volts, so that nice. I mean, I've got one over here, but that's AC, and it'd be kind of neat to have the DC, actual DC voltage, especially when it's bleeding down, because I've got the there's a bleed down resistor on there. So if I were to kill power to it like this, the resistor will bleed it down. So it'd be nice to see that on the analog gauge, watching it go down to when it's safe. Otherwise, I'll have to keep my meter hooked up to it. But anyways, looks like everything's good. This, yeah. Let me check on my supervisor here. She got a bath today. She's not a happy dog. So she's still drying. That's why she doesn't have her collar on either. Hey, Jersey. Yeah, see, you're still wet. You're a wet dog. Yeah, good girl. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.